This is a Blurring Out with Eric Blair show today
with Carl Roessler
at Moonlight Graham Records in beautiful downtown Orange County, California, presenting the record release party for his new band, the Manic Low.
So the album's released today, and you were a major part of the album. You play keyboards on it. And tell me what you love about the album.
They decided to do this record, and they really was a departure. They had a sort of a 60s retro thing they were thinking about. They wrote 20 songs. They came to me and they asked me to do the keyboards on it, and I'm going through these songs one after another, and they are like classic songs that you've heard before, but they sound new, and they just hit the bullseye with what they seemed like they were going for, you know? It was really fun to play on, you know? It was a big, monumental task. It wasn't like something you just knock out in no time. It was really a big job. And we just got immersed in it for like a month or something.
I think the thing about the album is when I listen to it, it sounds so effortless.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. I mean, you know, I don't know. But yeah, there's they just got in a zone. They got in a zone where they're just creatively just flying out of them. So yeah, you can feel that, huh? It's crazy too, because you can come up with a riff like that, you can come up with that music, but it isn't a song until Jack steps in and you're like, oh, that's what that music is about. And it seems like, I think that songwriting, melding music and words is like such a complex art form. There's so much information going on at once. And Jack just came in and took these great things that were music, and they're just songs, one after another, you know? So, yeah, he's good. Who knew?
What do you think of the lyrical content?
Yeah, I mean, effortless. It's like you said. It's like exactly what the music is asking for. And I keep hearing things from his life that he's putting in there that, you know, like suffering and triumph and all these things, and it never sounds sentimental, really. Or even when it sounds sentimental, it's almost like he's laughing. Like every once in a while, it almost is Vegas-y. You know, it's like almost Vegas-y, and you're like, Jack, do you really want to go there? But it's hilarious, you know, so yeah.
I think when I listen to it, I hear bands like the Style Council, Haircut 100. Jack sounds like he's doing his best Simon Le Bon. I don't think he's trying, but
I go even further back than that. I hear like, I don't know, Paul Anka sometimes and stuff like that, where it's even more, even before that. And when Sean and I would go, Jack, are you sure you want to go there? You know, but he has demons, you know, and he had to indulge them all. And watching Jack indulge his demons is really entertaining.
Now, would you go on tour with the Manic Low?
Oh, God, I'd love to. I mean, we'd have to see, you know, this situation, which is to be in this situation. I have this studio, and it's kind of like a responsibility, but it'd be very hard to, you know, we'll see what happens.
What other than this project, what else do you have going on?
Oh, a lot of bands. I mean, I'm like, a lot of bands come through, a lot of solo artists, and I'm doing a lot of my stuff. I'm in like really crazy. I just got done recording a 47-minute sort of prog piece that I wrote when I was 16. Oh, we got to talk about this. It's like, but there's a band called Single Mothers that we just recorded that's just getting crazy reviews from the record that came out. A band called I Gaff Sequoia that just blew my mind. A band called the Moon Bandits that we recorded in one day that's getting all this crazy press right now and love. And these are kind of these vegan acoustic punk bands that are coming out nowadays, where they don't even want to use electricity, and they've got banjos, and they're so committed and so socially conscious, but without sounding preachy. So there's a couple of those, and then I think I'm about to do a Nina Hagen thing. I've got a...
Wait, is Nina Hagen coming back in town?
I think we're going to do it through the computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I'm going to just maybe do keyboards for her that way.
Because I'd like to see her back in town again.
Yeah, I just spoke to her on the phone. I think that's coming up, and there's going to be more Josie Cotton. And, I mean, there's like 5 or 6. This girl, Savannah Pope, I've been working for, that's really talented. And... We've been doing a lot of fancy space people stuff, which is Don's band, which is
What is that like? I mean, I get posts from them on Facebook all the time, but what is the sound?
Oh my God! Oh, it's great. It's really great. I mean, I really didn't want to do it. They asked me, and I didn't want to do it, and but I did. I produced a couple songs for them, and I was just like, God, the music is too great. You know, the costumes, that's all like funny and everything, and I did really start to feel pretty cool when I was wearing my onesie. But there's like a big T-Rex Hawkwind thing, but and by T-Rex or the Sweet, some of these, or Bowie, these glam, but with these really great melodies, these soaring epic melodies about space rock, glam. So yeah, I think it's a great band. Of course, it's Dawn, so you know it's chaos.
Gonna be kooky.
It's chaos.
Yeah. Paul, being in the music industry for so many years, don't you ever get worn out by it?
I'm not in the industry constantly. I'm really not. And I've recoiled from the industry. There is not hardly an industry at this point, you know, and not for people like me. I'm in a fortunate situation where I've happened to land on, and I hope it lasts forever. But no, it's not, because, oh, Johnny Dina, don't forget Johnny Dina, brilliant guy I'm working with. It's not, it's music. And everybody that comes in, it's their dream, and and they all are doing the perfect music for them, and it's perfect, it's genius. And all I have to do is sort of come to where they are, you know, and hear the music what they're going for, and all of a sudden it's perfect, and it's like discovery every time. So when people say there's no good music or whatever, you know, there's great music, and your friends are making it. You know, it's local, and it's you know, someone will say, I don't really like any music, and I'm like, well, you just went and saw your friend play. Don't you like their band? And he goes, I love that band. I go, that counts. That matters. What they're feeding you from the industry and American Idol and the 15th reunion of some band from a long time ago, forget that. It's right there in front of you, or you're making it yourself. That's great. I mean, it's so egalitarian, and it's finally happened like that, I think, you know. So no, I don't really. I don't.
What do you think of the music industry being in a band, touring all the time? It's for the young.
Well, I mean, these are people that are really focused on selling a ton of records so that they can buy a house and retire when they're 35. And I mean, that's a model that really existed for a while. You know, I think it's a challenge to figure out, how do you make music over your whole life? I mean, yeah, you know, the Rolling Stones, they had to stay the Rolling Stones because when they tour, they make $300 million freaking dollars. Yeah. Good for them, you know? And they don't have to really change. They just have to keep doing the same thing over and over. That's good for them. But for someone like us, someone who is in the Screamers, you know, or someone like Jack, it's like, okay, so we're not stuck. We get to actually keep growing and exploring. And, you know, it's an interesting challenge. I mean, I think I'm doing my best stuff now. I think Don Bowles is doing his best stuff now, you know? So it's kind of hard to get people to pay attention. But I'm really, you know, I actually really love making music. It's like it's just a discovery process for me. It's experimentation. It's like mixing chemicals in your chemistry lab and things blow up. You know, so I never get tired of blowing things up, you know? And then it's like a diary. You've got, that's where I was in the 80s. That's where I was in the 90s. And boy, I was sad there. You know, if you can really put your soul into whatever you're working on at that time, you can relive it and you can go, God, I was really, I had a good heart there, but I was really going through hell, you know? And I captured it. And then it's for me. And that's why I take people in the studio, like on this project. I mean, the odds that you're going to sell 1 million records and make a bunch of money is like nil. So make something that you're really going to be proud of afterwards, and don't let anybody shove you. Don't cheat yourself. Make it so that you can always listen to this, you know, because most people don't have a recording studio. They only get to go in and, you know. So I don't know. I'm really an artist, and I get to indulge that. And if you're really an artist, I mean, people paint their whole lives. Mm-hmm. People compose their whole lives. It's you just have to. If you're fortunate enough to do it, it's a really precious thing.
Well, with that, Paul Roessler, thank you for being on the Blaring Out with Eric Blair show.
The Blaring Out show.